Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another Toy Paradise. Today we're actually looking at Target in Kapolei. A fast early morning look. As you can see, they had a few good stuff. I'm actually here to pick up, well, two things, and I got surprised by a third thing. Uh, it does remind me of Walmart a little, as a lot of the things are sold out or missing. However, as you can also see, Target definitely looks better than Walmart. No matter which Target it is, Kapolei, Walmart, or Target in Honolulu, Target at Ala Moana, there's at least a few merchandise on display. I didn't want to get deep into it, but you get the drift. You in Hawaii, collectors definitely want to head to Target instead of Walmart. And they had some Shira and Hordak on sale too. Crazy. So as you can see, we came down to Honolulu to book off. Honestly, they had a few things that were interesting. Uh, um, I got the oldest Boba Fett.
You're the oldest. Yeah, we got the one. Remember when we bought long ago before Boba Fett?
You know, at first we walked in and it seemed like their pop section was getting smaller.
Wow.
Nope.
Mhm.
But we were kind of surprised that it was actually a lot bigger than we expected. Mm-hmm. There were two of those Venoms. Both boxes were a little hashed. One was $8, I think. The other was $19. I like that one.
$9?
I was actually considering the Venoms until I checked the box.
There's a Modoc in there if you want it.
I have that Scrooge McDuck. Other things I was kind of considering was the Shere Khan from Jungle Book, not the Tailspin. Although they did have Tailspin.
Beetle dice. Let me know when you hear my voice.
Archangel, the Venom until I saw the box. There's a chance. Then you come around and you see this, a whole nother aisle of just of pops.
Oh shit. They got a rock one. 4 and all.
Literally insane.
It's not just me
No,
then. These are all fucking fake.
mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought it was just me. I thought it was.
Alright, honestly,
or years.
There's like I said, there's a few things I want to pick up,
You better fucking edit out all that.
but I think I can wait. I'd rather
But
pick
it's
up
funny.
a few other pops that I think are more worthy to have right now. I'm always waiting for something with you.
You would wait for something to concentrate.
Those movies. Checked out the games. Nothing new. Honestly, one game that I'm really would love to get is the Japanese PS4 Godzilla versus. However, that thing is worth some money. Literally almost $300. You know, as always, they had a good selection. After this, we actually went to Pro Ridge Book Off, and there was a PS4 game I was looking at.
Tag Team Wrestling.
That is the Japanese version, the Famicom version of Tag Team Wrestling. I started looking through that mess, and I decided not to. There's a few games I want to have, but I really didn't want to look at those. They had a Lino, $210. I think this book off has way more and better games than the other book off in Pro Ridge, but then I saw these. Sailor Moon. Mars was about 50. Mercury was 90. Sailor Moon was about 50. Mumra is still 100 something. I have all four of those. It's insane. Trying to look into here. The Thundercats back there is Chitara. Captain America would be awesome to have with the hammer. There's Flower back there, but that is pretty expensive. There is the Green Ranger Shredder.
Priscilla.
Glow in the Dark Electro. I don't know why that's expensive.
We thought about it.
The TV series Supergirl, which I also have. I do want Cad Bane. I do have Anti Venom.
It's probably different. Maybe the box is not as.
I do have that Mr. Freeze, the animated Batman. Well, as you can see, guys, it's been a long day. We hit up Target in Kapolei, came home, I put together a new shelf, so my room's kind of coming along. Still a huge mess, but as you can see now, I have two shelves. There's going to be another one there, and a tall one right there. in that little opening. And let me tell you, I'm not mechanically inclined or technically inclined. So a lot of computers and stuff for these new systems, these new phones, it takes me a while to kind of get used to them. Then my friends picked me up. We went to Ala Moana, had some food. For the first time, I've actually ate well, a cheeseburger from Cheeseburger Factory. Not bad. Mine's was plain, so it it tasted all right. You could understand that if they had some seasoning and maybe some sauce, it would have been incredible. But for the experience, that was my first time eating there. I liked it. I enjoyed it. We looked around. Lego store is the same. Pretty incredible. Box lunch is the same. Hot Topics is pretty much the same. They did have a couple old pops in Hot Topics. Dusty Rhodes, The American Dream, and a Venom pop, surprisingly. So what surprised us the most is having Twilight items all of a sudden reemerge. They had a shelf that literally read My Hero Academia, the anime, but everything on that shelf was Twilight. After that, we went to Pearl Ridge. Well, we went to Book Off downtown. Like I said, there was a few stuff there. I didn't get anything. Trying to be good because literally when it rains, it floods. And by that I mean I went to Target for 2 things, came home with 3 things. I've got stuff ordered from 3 Star Wars figures from Hasbro Pulse. I ordered a Dreamcast game from Japan. And I ordered a Masterverse figure. And ordered them completely separate from each other. They're all coming either tomorrow, I believe. So yeah, well, I'll have a mailbox video hopefully tomorrow, if not Wednesday. Insane. That's all I gotta say. After Book Off, we went to Pearl Ridge. Hit the Uptown side, hit Book Off. I honestly was going to pick up the Black and White Wednesday I seen yesterday. It was sold. They had a few new pops. Nothing drastic, I would say. Nothing worthwhile. They are things I definitely want to get. Sooner or later, have to go up to Kaneohe side to a small little shop known as Happy Seas Hawaii. And when I mean small, it's pretty small. But they have some cool stuff, and almost one side is for pops. And they have some pretty interesting pops. Well, I mean, there's one that I kind of want, I do want. However, have to wait and see when I get up there. Uh, 808 Collectibles has a couple pops I want. Definitely have to make some time to get into that shop sometime this week. So at the end of this month, I ordered 2 pops from Amazon, and they will be coming in hopefully by the end of the month, beginning of next month. And then I get an email stating the Spider-Man that I ordered from Amazon that they canceled because it was pushed back to March, mid-March, is now possibly coming out in mid-February. So, like I said, when it rains, it floods. And you really can't help that. But, like I said before, today has been an insanely busy day. Yesterday was an insanely busy day. As you guys know, I went to the expo. Nothing really caught my eye. However, I did buy a few things from Purple Ridge Book Off that did catch my eye. And I'm kicking myself for not picking up Wednesday, but things happen. It it's been a long week. So why I told you guys already that I picked up a few things this morning from Target, went there specifically because Kapolei is the only store that had 2 of the merchandise, well, technically 3 of the merchandise I bought there, 2 that I went there specifically for. So, like I said, I'm collecting Masterverse figures. It's one of my collections. It's with gargoyles, the NECA gargoyles, Funko Pops, Soul of Hulk Hogan, Transformers Masterpiece, G.I. Joe Classified, Star Wars Black Series. However, with most of my collection, I'm only collecting a few of the items or a few characters. I do, with the Masterverse figures, there are 3 characters that I still need that are coming out this month, and that is the 1980s live action He-Man movie Skeletor, the Revelations Roboto. I mean, he looks great. I don't think they're gonna do a Masterverse New Eternia Roboto. And also Stratos. As far as the characters go, for Masterverse, I mainly want to collect the bad guys. There's only a few of the good guys I like. Roboto was one of them. Stratos is another. Uh, Two main other characters that I would love to have: Manny Faces and Ram Man. Other than that, more of the bad guys, and I think I'm actually getting close with the bad guys. I would love to for them to make a Clawful, a Whiplash, and the two other characters I would love to have, Webster and Cobra Khan. We went over Hordak and the Horde, but I seen this guy, He-Man, the Masters of the Universe masterpiece, the live-action movie, 1980s. They said on their website that they didn't have him, but they did. He looks great in the artwork. For me, this would be King Grayskull. So what he comes with is the Sword of Power, a cape with his armor, 2 hands, 2 knives, a blaster, and another head. So what's weird is they have this head sculpt, and this head sculpt is actually more, I guess, more like the cartoon version, the Filmation version. Well, this is a bit more like the live action version. He has the longer hair. However, if you guys have never watched the live action version, he was played by a young Dolph Lundgren. So he was literally taller than most of the characters. I love the outfit. I love that this He-Man, the movie, used a gun, a laser pistol. The characters that they had was Man-at-Arms and Tila, and Gwildor, who had a machine that could travel through universes and time. And the whole preference of the movie was that somehow He-Man, Tila, Man-at-Arms, and Gwildor came to our planet and got stuck here. Well, Skeletor, Evelyn, Beastman, Blade, I can't remember the lizard's name. I do remember the toys spit out sparks, and his general, which never made sense to me because Beastman is supposed to be the general. But like I said, that was a surprise. That wasn't why I went to Target, but it's an awesome surprise. Why I did go was because of this. New Eternia's Too Bad. He was one of my favorite toys back in the days. For some reason, him and Stinkar, and you can see the 4 characters that's coming out. Supposedly the Sorceress Evelyn, a Shira character, Frosta, and Roboto and Stratos, and on the He-Man they had the movie version of Skeletor. So what comes with this is 2 interchangeable hands, his shield, what looks like a battle axe, his mace, a gun, and another mace. So the actual toy that this guy came, the original toy came with the shield and this battle club. For me, why he was one of my favorites is because the 2 heads never really got together, which made for some very comical attacks, or comical, for a pretty comical character. In the newer animated He-Man series, not Revelations, but the Cartoon Network version, I guess. And I believe in the comic books, I can't remember how the original Filmation version was, but Skeletor brought in 2 of the universe's greatest bounty hunters to try and get He-Man. They both failed. They both started bickering. That the only reason they failed is because of the other bounty hunter, so Skeletor cast a spell and brought them together. So they had to learn to honestly work together. In that cartoon, he was insane even after he was brought together. But I remember in the original cartoon, the 2 heads always fought. I love both versions of the character. I love the character itself, the entire idea, and the fact that he's the original toy and this toy is bigger than most of the Revelation characters. As far as Stinker goes, why he was one of my favorites, he wasn't really used in the original Filmation. I think he only appeared once. Jetsu, I think, appeared once as well, under his different name, the original name. And then Jetsu, and I think Jetsu was a background character in another episode. I loved Stinkor because he was a skunk, and his whole power was to defuse you confuse you. Just his stink was supposed to make you unable to fight. Which is an interesting idea. Think of it as a living, breathing tear gas trying to fight something that could live in that, and you can't. Beastman was always my favorite. My number one favorite above, or right below Skeletor. Just because he had the power to control beasts. And in the original, he was literally Skeletor's right-hand man. And one of the comic reliefs. I definitely like Webster and Cobra Khan. Webster was a spider character, and Cobra Khan was the snake character. The Webster toy could shoot a grappling hook. You put a bottom and it just climbed by itself. It was a pretty interesting toy at the time. He didn't look great, but the idea was there. Cobra Khan, you could, I believe, take off his head, fill him with water, and push down on his head to shoot what was supposed to be venom. In the original cartoon, he could open up his side panels, which the toy could never do. So it wasn't really a cobra, except in the cartoon. And he hiss out some poisonous gas. So I always wanted him and Stinker to team up. But yeah, I went there for Too Bad, and I got the movie He-Man. The other thing I went was for this. Dungeons and Dragons. Now I know a lot of you have no idea who these characters are. Even if you know Dungeons and Dragons. Like if you've seen yesterday's video, Warduke, the Funko Pop, that's the Dungeons and Dragons character. Those characters were created for the books and I think a movie or so, but I don't think they really appeared in any of the live action movies. But in the early 1980s, they actually made a Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. And one of my favorite villains of all time, what's that guy? Venger. So he was trying to take over a mystical land, and the only one that could stop him was this guy, Dungeon Master. Unfortunately, he didn't have the power to stop him. He couldn't physically stop him. What he was good for was pretty much what his name is, and if you have ever played Dungeons and Dragons with your friends, you realize Dungeon Master was the person who created the entire story as you and your friends played. And he could be your friend, he could be your foe. So, what he did was open up a portal in our world and brought over 5 ordinary people and created a group of people to help him fight Venger. So we had the archer, Hank, the Amazon, I believe, Diana, the little kid was Bobby. He was the barbarian. No, there was 6 characters. So there should be 3 more. So Hank actually was... He would bring up a golden bowl and fire lightning arrows. She was a gymnastics expert. She could create a bowl that helped her do gymnastic stuffs. The barbarian was probably about 7 or 8, so he was literally a little kid. But he had a club that literally, if he hit the ground, could cause an earthquake. I remember Eric. He was the rich kid that was a coward. He got a shield. I think he was a cavalier. And the shield could create a shield around everybody. There was a redheaded girl. I don't remember her name. But she was their master thief. She had a cloak that she could turn invisible. And then there was a nerd. I'm not sure what his name was. But he was supposed to be a wizard. But the only thing he was capable of is taking off his hat and doing spells from his hat. And a lot of times the spells didn't really work as they should have, or he wanted them to. It was a great series. Unfortunately, it didn't do as well as it was expected to. I believe it ended somewhere in a 20 or 30 episode series. I actually have the entire collection on DVD. Because for me, I honestly love not only that stuff of magical old school warriors and wizards and stuff, which is basically Star Wars, but for the time, the writing for the cartoon was pretty great. They had each character was very different. Hank was brave. Bobby was courageous. Or maybe it was the opposite way around. And the best part is they had a dragon who hated everybody in the series. That was my favorite character, and honestly, probably maybe my second or third favorite dragon ever. His name was Tiamat. Uh, it was a giant red dragon, but he had 5 or 6 different heads, and each head was a different color, and each head had a different power. But they all listened to the main head, which threw me off because I kind of wanted them to, have arguments, but whatever. So I believe the main head could shoot fire, one could shoot a lightning bolt, one could shoot a freezing beam. It was insane. I definitely want that toy. As far as the characters go, honestly, I only bought it for Avenger. So, although I do like having Dungeon Master, I don't think I'm gonna pick up any of the other 6 characters. They do have Tiamat, not for this toy series, but for different uh, series for collectors. I'm not sure how big the series or the toys are. So I kind of want to wait and see if they actually create a toy for this series. But there is a giant Tiamat that's about $350, I believe. It's a lot of money. And out of all the Tiamat toys I've seen, or collector's items I've seen, this looks, I wouldn't say the closest, but the most authentic. Because each dragon head has a different look and a different scope to it. And truthfully, if they don't come out with the Tiamat toy, I might buy that one and then put these 2 on different sides of it. It's insane what you can ask for. And it's insane what you can find when you look. Like I said, the Target Kapolei is the only place that has all 3. Several Targets got them and sold out. I'm pretty sure some of this might sell out. Well, especially the Dungeons and Dragons might sell out by the time this video gets out. But for me, like I said, this stuff I'm collecting, but I honestly needed that characters from Dungeons and Dragons. I'm hoping, I want to see what else they bring out for us. If there's any old cartoons or toy series that they decide to reboot. I mean, there are a lot of stuff out there that could, like Dungeons and Dragons. Cops, I think, did pretty good. They had 2 seasons. I think they could do a darker version. I don't know if I'd collect any of the series for that. Uh, there's supposed to Super 7's supposed to be doing Silverhawks. I have yet to see anything. Like the Thundercats, I would love to collect a few characters from there. Uh, Namely Moonstar, Hardware, uh, Quicksilver's clone. I think it was called Dark Bird. I don't know if anybody else. I would love to see them do Brave Star. I would definitely pick up Tex Hex. Uh, I mean, Hanna-Barbera had a lot of great cartoons. There was a lot of great old cartoon series. Yes, I do have. I, I told you guys I got 2 more pops coming in at the end of the month, and my Spider-Man, hopefully from Amazon, middle of February. I may order 1 or 2 more pops from Amazon. There's still a lot of stuff I still want to collect. Uh, G.I. Joe Classifieds and Star Wars is slowly coming out. They're gonna have a lot of good stuff this year. I have to finish my Masterpiece collection for Transformers, my Soul of Chogokin. Both of those will be insane for money. So they will be collected slowly. Definitely have to wait on the Gargoyles for the next one to come out. They've actually leaked out the next NECA Gargoyle, and it's gonna be surprisingly not the ones that they brought out or mentioned. The next NECA Gargoyle is gonna be the robots that Xanatos used, the robot gargoyles, the Steel Clan. And then I believe they're gonna release the 3 other gargoyles, uh, Broadway, Brooklyn, and Lexington. All of that, I believe, should be released this year. And that, unless, that should finish my collection for gargoyles, unless they release the humans. Or, they could release Angela or any of the mutants. But the only character I would want besides the 6 main gargoyles is the human police officer woman that was their friend. Masterverse, like I said, there's 3 more characters. And then it's the waiting game to see who else they bring out. G.I. Joe, I believe they're going to announce somewhat soon more characters. Funko Pops. Ugh. Like I said, I'm not going to collect the entire series for any one item. It's certain characters from certain series, just as a nostalgia thing. For Thundercats, I have Mumra and Groon. Besides them, I want to get the mirror version of Lino, the evil version. And Mongor. Other than that, possibly Driller, if they come out with a character. And, one thing that hit me was the possibility of the Lunatics. I don't know if I would collect any of them. Another character I kind of want is Hammerhead. But I don't want any more of his crew. It's weird. Like I said, I'm looking for specific characters that I've liked from the series. I'm not trying to collect the entire series. He-Man, there's only a few more characters that I kind of want, so little by little the collection is being completed, at least for the most part. But I do have a long way to go. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. It's been a long day. And this week is going to be a long week. Like I said, when it rains, it floods. I got a mailbox video coming. I'm doing hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday. I might stop off at 808 Collectibles sometime this week. We'll see what happens. Next week, my hours have, or my days off has changed, which is going to cause some major problems. But we'll see what we can get into. Till then, guys, thanks for being here. Take care, stay safe. See you guys soon.